I guess the most secure feeling I have is knowing that I will not have to be that superintendent or school administrator that has to phone any parent in the future at Healdton Public Schools and let them know that their child did not or is not going to make it home due to the situation that occurred today.
On August 31st, 2015, Terry Shaw realized a lifelong dream. Mr. Shaw, the superintendent of Healdton School District in Healdton, Oklahoma, secured the safety of students in his elementary school when 7 tote international ballistic storm shelters were completed in Healdton Elementary School.
I'm responsible for about 540 students, and I have about 75 employees. As superintendent, when you're responsible for that many kids and you can't control the weather, it's very comforting to know that we have something in place for the safety of our students and the safety of my faculty, that if in case of an emergency, that they have somewhere to go, they have somewhere safe to go. Well, the hardest thing to do is to prioritize your budget, and all school budgets are tight, but every decision that we make as a superintendent has the best interests of the students in heart. And if you really want to get to the heart of what's best for students, is their safety. And that is ultimately our responsibility in any situation at any time. So our job is to make sure that they are safe and they are secure. And we have to prioritize that. And that's basically what we've done here. Living in Tornado Alley here in central Oklahoma, I mean, it's something you worry about every spring. I mean, you dread that day, you dread those phone calls, you dread when the storm clock goes off, that it could be us. And knowing that you have that unsecure feeling of where do we go? How do we get them all down into the basement? How do we get them into the hall? Is that going to be good enough? That sense of insecurity is now partially gone because we have the security that we need now, and the kids are going to be safe. We have a safe place to go in case someone has a gun on campus, and that's a feeling that you never want to be faced with, and you don't really know what to do. You go through the drills and you hope what you do and what you have in place works when you are hiding in the classroom or when you're trying to put kids in closets. But knowing you have a unit such as this to protect the kids is it's very, very it's overwhelming to know that your kids are going to be safe once you get them in there. The students and the faculty, it's been an overwhelming response as how they feel as far as the safety. I go in at lunch in the cafeteria, and I've got kids coming up telling me how much they love their shelters. Thank you for the shelters. And I hadn't even got a chance to go over and see their reactions yet on the first day of school. But they were bringing those reactions to me as soon as they saw me. So that was wonderful, because you don't know how they're going to react to them. Well, I mean, it's our responsibility in every decision that we make on a daily basis that we have to make that best decision for our students. And whether that comes for the educational purpose or the safety purchase, have to be at the forefront of our decision-making process. And in order to do so, sometimes it's hard to find the money within that budget, but we have to get creative sometimes in order to do that. But ultimately, in order to do my job and be successful, I have to put the kids first.
Mr. Shaw wanted to show the town of Healdton his commitment to the shelters. He had raised enough money through a bond issue for 6 shelters, but he needed 7. He raised the money for the 7th by committing to finish the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial Marathon. Determined to make good on his commitment, when he broke his foot at mile 20, he finished the race on that broken foot.
The peace of mind that this gives me as superintendent for my students is unbelievable. Knowing that when my elementary students come to school, the most precious students that I have at that age, when they come to school and we have a situation, whether it be an intruder, whether it be a tornado, that my students are going to be safe. That sense of security is beyond belief. And knowing that, it just makes me a superintendent eerie at the fact that my middle school and my high school do not have these same shelters. And that's where it's tough for me, is knowing that I've taken care of my most precious commodity, my elementary students, and they are going to be safe. And now how do I figure out how to fund and get creative with my budget to fund that same security and that same peace of mind for my middle school students' parents and my high school students' parents. That's priority 1 right now, is to continue what we've started and complete the shelters in my middle school and my high school. I think the true benefit of having these structures within the classroom is the time that it takes to get into that structure. They are in the classroom, they're accessible, they're immediate. You're talking 10, 12 seconds to get into the structure and be safe and secure, as opposed to one of your superstructures that may be centrally located within a campus or for an entire campus. And you're talking minutes that it would take to get students into that facility. And then in order for your elementary, your youngest students to get to that facility is going to take even longer, because they don't understand the relevance of the situation. So having these in the classroom, the sense of security that it should give administrators, teachers, parents is unbelievable. The difference in seconds to minutes is strictly going to be life or death.